Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I almost forgot to untitle what the pattern is. Look at this. I already started our next mystery pattern. Just a minute. Hello and welcome again to the Victorian era. Let's tear into another mystery pattern. Of course, if you're new to the channel, I have a small pile of patterns here that my son curated for us. He photo scanned the patterns, removed the photos, removed the images, and blacked out anything that could identify what the pattern is within the pattern. All of these patterns this time are from the Victorian era. Okay, let's pick our pattern. Let's pick our pattern. Number 10. Okay, 12, 7, and 2, and 10. Again from the same book. Oh, look. We're going to do beading again. Make a chain of 68 stitches, having previously strung the gold beads. I happen to have gold beads. It says first row, a double crochet. This is a UK pattern, so a UK treble equals a US double crochet. A double into every loop, taking up the beads with each thus. Now, I've never done any beading with double crochet. Put the silk over the hook and push a bead up. Pull the needle through a loop and push a bead and push up a bead. So it's 2 beads per stitch. Finish the stitch in the usual way. Really? Put the silk over the hook and push up a bead. Okay. Put the needle through a loop, so into your foundation, and push up a bead. Okay, 2 beads per stitch. You have thus used 2 beads. If I could just keep reading, I know y'all are reading. Look, I get tunnel vision sometimes, okay? You have thus used 2 beads to your double crochet, UK treble. Second row, 1 US double crochet, 1 chain. Now work into the holes. Do not use any beads in this. Repeat these 2 rows alternately. If preferred, use only 1 bead. That is, put the silk over the needle, draw through the lower loop. I'm going to use 2 beads. Now push up the bead. Now I'm going to use 2 beads. Put gold rings and gold tassels, or instead of the latter, a bunch of gold beads. Who's taking bets this is another bag? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, since I have a bunch of beads, just a moment. Okay, I already have a bunch of beads from whenever we made the fleur-de-lis bag. I have 2 different sizes. I usually use the size 11, which is these smaller ones here, but I think today I'll give these size 10, which is just a little bit bigger, a try. And I'm going to go ahead and use my number 20 crochet thread. There we go. And I'll use the white, and learning from the last time I used beading, I'm going to go with a number 9 crochet hook. Number 10 was just a little too small. Okay, so I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and string some beads, and we'll start with our 68 chains. Okay, so I've already started my chain. I have 10. I went ahead and beaded, I don't know how many beads. If it's not enough, then at some point in my project, I'll just restring some more. And here I am using number 20 crochet thread. All right, so I will be back whenever I have 68 beads strung. Now, I don't want y'all getting tangled. No, no. But so far I have 10, and I'm also using my vintage Susan Bates number 9 hook. I do not know what the modern equivalent is, but if I had to guess, a 1.25, a 1.25. So I think a 7 is a 1.65. I think an 8 is a 1.5. So I think this is a 1.25. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. I'll be right back. Okay, 68 chains. Now it says first row, a treble into every loop. So a US double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, and in the 4th loop from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, I will work my first double crochet. So it said to go in, and let's see, it said yarn over, put the silk over the hook and push up a bead. Okay, put the silk over the hook and push up a bead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it said put the needle through a loop. Okay, put the needle through a loop, push a bead up. Maybe I have to pull the needle, the hook through first. There we go. And then complete the stitch as normal. But I have a bead on both sides now. I don't think you're supposed to keep I don't think the beads are supposed to be on the both sides. Put the silk over the hook. Let me try this one more time. Okay, put the silk over the hook. And push a bead up. Go into put the needle through a loop and push. If I do that, I'm going to have just 2 beads back to back, unless that's what they mean. And if that's the case, I can just push 2 beads up at once. The beads are on the wrong side. So this is all a learning curve, so don't yell at me. I've never done beadwork with double crochet before, so please, a little patience with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about this? Pull through 1, pull through 1. There's 2 beads, and they're on the right side now. Try that one more time. Yarn over, draw up a loop, pull through 1, pull through 1. Yeah. Next stitch over. I am working in the back bumps. Draw up a loop, pull through 2. I know before I said pull through 1, I meant to say 2. Pull through 2. You think that's how it's meant to look? I feel like it looks right now, so I'm not going to say it was written wrong. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to say maybe I interpreted it wrong. Pull through 2 and pull through 2. That seems like it looks right, doesn't it? A lot more uniform. Do you suppose this is how they meant it to look? There's no image with this. And again, this pattern is from 1879. It comes from that same book. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm likely going to have to string some more beads. Does it say how many rows we do this for? It says to repeat the 2. Okay, repeat these 2 rows alternately. Then it goes on to, if preferred, use only 1 bead. That is, put the silk over the needle, draw through the lower loop, then through 2 loops. Now push the bead and draw the silk through the last. So putting the bead on the top of your double crochet. It doesn't say how many times to do this. So I guess this book here I have found is really sort of maker's choice with this. They give you the foundation and they pretty much want you to just do your own thing. So I'm really not sure what this is. I think it's probably kind of obvious that it's going to be a beaded bag. Do we sew it together? So is the bag only supposed to be that wide? Because it doesn't say to make 2 halves. Well, I'm just going to go with it, and maker's choice. I'll figure it out whenever I get there. This book seems really just foundational, and they sort of want you to get creative and use your own best judgment the rest of the way. So I am beading this bag the way it will work for me. I feel like that's okay, that's allowed. So I am going to do some beadwork here, and let's enjoy a little bit of music. Yes? I am a little bummed because I'm going to have to probably cut my thread and then rejoin it. These 2 beads are completely stuck together, like completely. There is no separating them. And it looks terrible. I'll show you. Like they're unusable at this point. So that is a real bummer. Yeah. Oh no. That looks bad. I really don't want to cut. Do we think I can get away with it? You think I can get away with it? I would prefer not to do that if I can get away with it. Oh, I wish you guys could give me some input. Let's see how it looks. If it'll basically look like there are 3 beads stacked. Yeah, let's do another one and see how it looks side by side, like encased. Let me get actually on screen for you. Oh, what a bummer. You know what? I think I can get away with it. I think I can pull it off. We'll call that my maker's mark. I really don't want to cut, and it's not that obnoxiously noticeable. It's really, really not. Right? I'm just gonna cheese it. I'm gonna keep it. You can call it laziness. I won't argue with you, but also I just don't want to cut my thread and rejoin it. And I'm going to have to give myself some slack here. That's all I have left. It's a little slow going with the chain, but it's a chain. I would imagine once we start working on the actual full-size stitches, it's going to be a lot easier. So I see what they're going for, why they want you to do every other row, because we're going to turn and we can't have beads on this side of the work. So that's why the next row, I believe the next row is going to be a plain filet row. From what I read, it looks like it's going to be a filet row, but all right, I will be back. Okay, now it wants us to work some filet. So my concern is my stitch count. Is it going to be enough for filet? But it's okay because I can fudge it. All right, so I'm going to start with a stacked single. So I'm going to turn, and into the top of the last double crochet made, I'm just going to work a single crochet. And then in that forward loop that my working thread is coming out of, into that side stitch there, I will work another single crochet. Then chain one, and it said to skip one. Let's see here, yes. Wait. One chain, yeah. All right, so chain one, skip one, and work a double crochet into the next. Chain one, skip one, work a double. Chain one, skip one, work a double. There we go. All right, I'm going to work this all the way to the end. Okay, it looks like my stitch count will be fine. I think. No, I am one stitch too many. So what I'm going to do is just ignore my turning chain. And whenever I go to sew this, which I imagine I'm going to have to because I do believe it's a purse, I'll just hide it with my sewing. There we go. And it won't really look that bad. Okay, so now, also I think what I'm going to do, kind of wished I hadn't worked any beads on this end. So I think going forward, I'm going to leave the two end stitches without beads. And that way it'll be a plain seam. But again, I believe I'm going to have to sew it. Like, what other reason is there to have a panel of beads? So I think I'm going to work my first and last stitch with no beads. So again, I'm going to start with a stacked single instead of a turning chain. If I can get my hook in there. Tell you what, that eye exam can't come any quicker. I still didn't get it. Okay. So now here I need to work, oh, I have a little bit of a tangle, hang on. So in keeping with repeating the 2 rows, here I am meant to work into every stitch and every space. And I'm going to work into the space instead of into the chain. Then I will work into the top of that stitch. And yeah, this is going to go by so much faster not being on the foundation chain. There we go. So I'll work a little bit on this row and then I will come back and show you my progress and we will see how this design is looking. So I will be right back. Okay, so here is my progress so far. I think this is very, very pretty. Oh, this is nice. I'm definitely going to have to restring some beads. I'm going to guess somewhere around my 4th or 5th row of beads. I'm going to have to cut and restring some more. It says that we need 1 bunch of gold. I'm going to guess that 1 bunch is 100 grams because what I have here is 50 grams. That's my beading needle. So of the 10 I started off with 50 grams. I think I'm going to absolutely use all of these. Good thing is 10 and 11 aren't too different in size, just a little bit bigger on the 10. So I'm probably going to have to finish this thing off with size 11. That's okay. That's going to be quite all right. But I wanted to show you my progress so far, and that, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to restring some more beads because I'm burning through these beads pretty quick. All right, I'm going to finish this row. Then I'm going to start the next fillet row with you, and then I'm just going to go and I will check in with you as I'm working and let you know how things look and just hang out with you. Okay, so I just have 1 stitch left to work. I just worked my last stitch in the chain 1 space, so I'm not going to bead this last stitch. I'm just going to go right into the top of my stacked single there and work a double crochet. That way, when I go to sew this together, the beads won't be in the way like they probably will be a little bit down here, and it will make kind of a chunky, funky seam, I imagine. All right, starting with a stacked single again. This is going to be the fillet row. One of these days, I will get my rows and rounds straight. Okay, stacked single, chain 1, skip 1, work a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, work a double crochet. Chain, skip, work a double. I think this is going to be so pretty. I think a bag like this absolutely has to be lined. Unless, you know, you're just going to go to the opera with it and keep your gloves and whatnot in it. I'm just pretending. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to keep working these 2 rows over and over. And I think what I'll do is whenever I run out of all these beads, I'll restring some more and check in with you at that point so you can see the progress. Now, if this were folded in half, that makes for a rather small bag, perhaps a coin bag. We will find out at the end. And for all I know, this is a hairpiece. I'm just guessing that it's a bag. This could be a headpiece, something that you just keep making and put over your head. But it doesn't say that. No. It says to put gold rings and gold tassels. Now that is like a bag. I think it's a bag. And double E purse twist. I might be using a thread that's actually too small. I thought it asked for a number 24 thread, but I may have been thinking of another pattern. Let me look up double E purse twist. Yeah, I really feel like I'm using, I just checked out a picture of it. I'm going to show you that picture right here. So you can see it looks like it's probably about a 5-weight thread. This is number 20 thread. So I am definitely using way too small of a thread, but I needed to. I don't have beads that would fit that. These are the only beads I own. So I will be making, if this is indeed a purse, which I think it is, I will be making myself a tiny little coin purse. And that's going to be just fine. That'll be just fine. And I'm making these stitches way too loose. Every single one of them so far has been a bit too loose. There we go. Make that just a little bit tighter. Yeah, that's better. I want to be able to pull the fillet open, and I feel like that's almost like blocking it without having to block it, you know. Work it just a little firmer than usual. I'm not working it super firm. I'm not squeezing like the fat on my finger or anything like that, but certainly firmer than I was working it before when I wasn't really paying attention. See how it's kind of buckling in? I want to be able to do this because then it will hold it open and it will look really nice. So I'm just looking for a slightly more taut than moderate. That made no sense. I know. This is why I don't like to write patterns. I'm not good at describing what is in my head. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and work these 2 rows over and over. When I run out of beads and get a chance to restring some more, I will jump back on here and show you my progress. That's what I'm looking for, to be able to open it up and have it stay open on its own, almost like blocking it. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so here's where I'm at. This is the point where I ran out of beads and I thought about restringing some more, but then I thought this is another cute little coin purse, just this size. So what I did is, here it was laid out long ways like this, and I just folded it up in half. I already sewed this side shut with a single crochet seam, so I will do the same. And then I think I'm going to work a round of treble crochet filet on the top so that I can run this. This is the only narrow ribbon I have. It's literally a piece I just took off of a little gift box, but it's enough to work to cinch the top shut to create just a cute little coin bag that really doesn't need to be lined for what I'm going to use it for, because I'm just going to use it for coins. No coins are going to fall through that. So I'm going to go ahead and join to this stitch here, and then on this side, that's my starting chain 3. I'm just going to ignore that, and I'm going to weave this in a bit along the way. I'm going to go in this side here and this side here. And I'm just going to do this all the way down. Make sure I keep it even. Of course, you could do this with a needle and thread. I think what made the other side easier is that I wasn't working through the starting chain. On this side, I am working through the back or the bottom of the starting chain. So the stitches are just a little bit tighter. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to keep working this all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, back whenever we very first started this and I put those 2 beads there, I really wished I hadn't, but it's okay. It's totally not the end of the world. All right, I'm going to keep working this all the way to the bottom, and I will be right back. Okay, flip this the right side out. I really liked the vertical lines. See, like horizontal was pretty, but I really like it better with the vertical lines. I had this wrapped around my ball of thread whenever I went to bed, and I had it wrapped around long ways, and that's what inspired me to want to have the vertical lines. And I just really like, I don't know, it's kind of pinstripey, you know? Okay, so now I'm going to work a round of treble filet crochet. So I will go ahead and start here. Okay, chain one, and I'm going to work 3 stacked singles for my first. That's 1, 2, and slip stitch. Come on now. There we go. 3, chain 1. Now, what constitutes a skip? You know what? I'll chain 2. And I'm going to skip over this whole section here. That would look like maybe 2 stitches. And right here, I will work, yarn over twice, a treble. I'll just sew that. I'll just sew that tail in on the end, There we go. Chain 2, and let's see here. Is that too close? No, that's great. Okay, chain 2. Yeah, that would make sense because these are the sides of double crochets, which means they're basically 2 single crochets in length. Nope. Chain 2, skip over the space. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and at the end of this, 1, nope. I feel like I only chained 1 right there. Yeah, I did. Oh, that's fine. 1, 2. Chain 2, skip the space. If I can ever remember that I'm working trebles, US trebles, UK double trebles. Okay, chain 2, then on the end. All right, so I am going to work this all around, and when I come back, I will weave my ribbon through. Okay, so I have the top part all done. I'm just going to go ahead and thread this into my large eye darning needle. And I'm just going to start right. Here's the middle. I want to keep this middle space open. So there we go. This is a good thing I found this little piece of ribbon. I was looking at some of the other ribbons I have, and they're huge. They're like for the baby bonnets and stuff. They're about an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch wide. I think this is 1/2 inch, I think. So I got really lucky when I found this. There we go. I'm keeping the middle square completely open, and coin bag. Okay, let's load it up with some cash. Get some coins in there. And of course, if you want to make this, you can make this any size. I'm not going to lie, I just got a little lazy and sort of stopped adding beads. But I think it's super cute as a little coin pouch. Let's get some money in there. Actually, the money will be able to go in sideways. There we go. Can you imagine holding up the grocery store line so you can tie your little Victorian coin bag? I'm just teasing. But there it is. I think that is super cute. That is just ridiculously adorable. Oh my goodness. This, you can hear it. It's a little bit rough. So get yourself a nice satiny silky ribbon and it'll be a lot smoother of an experience. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I almost forgot to untitle what the pattern is. Look at this. I already started our next mystery pattern. Just a minute. Okay, I got it wrong. It is a bag, it's a purse, but I got it way wrong. It is a long purse, and I don't think I could have made a shorter one. Okay, so yeah, I have already started our next mystery pattern, so this is going to be kind of a strange ending to this video. But, you know, here's a preview to our next mystery pattern. So it's a long purse that I turned into a very tiny coin purse. Okay, so there is today's mystery pattern. You know, the patterns that come out of this book really do seem like they are just sort of foundational, and they want you to kind of do whatever you want to do. So I like the green, the gold, and the white. I think it all actually looks quite Victorian. This ribbon here was sort of a happy accident, but isn't that just so pretty? Oh, I really, really like it. So there you go. Our 1879 mystery beaded Victorian pattern. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next mystery. Love you lots. Bye.